Hello. We're going to go over deductive reasoning real quick. We've been looking over good observation skills. So you were looking at that when you watched the brain game. Observation skills are very important for forensic scientists. The brain is not designated to keep all the information that bombards us on a daily basis, so it's very, very selective. So you've got to kind of train yourself to be able to be a good observer, especially in forensics. So what are some strategies that can be used to keep the brain from losing information? Remember what he said. You can make up like little stories to help you remember things. That's one way that you could keep your brain from losing information. Um, Remembering it over and over and over again, like going back and seeing it, maybe seeing a picture. Um, Although, remember, your memories can get altered by how many times you try to go back and remember the same thing. Okay? So what makes a good observer? Move this down just a little bit. So make a conscious effort to examine the whole environment. Use your five senses. Remember what your five senses: touch, taste, sight, sound, smell. Observe everything slowly. That's a very big thing. So when you're looking around, you're looking slowly and you're not trying to do like a quick look. It's not a quick scan. It's you're going slow enough to remember everything. Scan the scene. Make connections to the observations. Relate observations to prior knowledge. Like you see, I don't know, a dominoes game or something, and you're like, oh yeah, I played that when I was younger. Like make connections to it so that it makes it easier. Remember what that one guy said. Make a story out of it. That way it helps like click in your brain. Do not jump to conclusions. That's a huge thing and kind of what we're going to talk about today. And photograph, take notes. That's a huge thing. You've got to photograph things, which we'll get into a little bit later. But you definitely photograph, you take notes so that it can help you remember. And that's part of making your observations and connections. All right. Once observations are made, a forensic investigator can use deductive reasoning to solve the crime. So what is deductive reasoning? That is deriving consequences from facts using a series of logical steps. So deductive reasoning is when you start from things you assume to be true and draw conclusions that must be true if your assumptions are true. So you're assuming something and then you're making more assumptions based on the assumption you already made. For example, all dogs have a tail. Buddy is a dog. Therefore, Buddy has a tail. Is that always true? Do all dogs have tails? Well, if they have a cropped tail, then maybe not. Maybe they don't. So deductive reasoning may not be the most accurate way of solving a problem because we all know assumptions can be wrong. So practice deductive reasoning skills. Throughout forensic science, you will rely on your observations and deductive reasoning skills. To practice sharpening these skills, we will play a game. Make it a point to think like a CSI. The game we're going to be doing is you are going to be looking over a deadly date game. Not really so much a game, but like this is going to be your game. We're going to sharpen our skills by looking at the deadly date and figuring out who did it. First part of it, you are going to need to write down the information. That's going to be the observations, what you are observing, and you will have a table to write those observations down. Then the second part on Wednesday, you are going to come up with your conclusion based on the observations that you made. All right. So I hope you guys have a good day. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Remember, emailing is best. And I hope to see you on Zoom. Have a great day.